A name once echoed in the halls of royal prestige now disappears with the quiet stroke of a keyboard. There are no trumpet blasts, no grand public announcements, just a subtle adjustment buried on a page of the official royal website. And yet, this quiet action speaks louder than many headlines. Prince Andrew, once the proud holder of the historic title Duke of York, is now simply Prince Andrew in the public face of the monarchy. Before we dive in, there's something I need to share with you. Over the past few days, thousands have watched these stories unfold, but most haven't subscribed. If you're one of them, I invite you now to join us. Subscribe to Crownverse so you never miss the next chapter in this unfolding royal history. The Buckingham Palace website has always been a subtle tool of communication. What disappears and what remains reveals more than any statement might. This week, watchers of the monarchy noticed a quiet change. Prince Andrew's title was removed from the styling of his biography. A line that once read, "The Duke of York," now reads, "Prince Andrew." And while this might seem like a routine update, in the context of royal tradition, it carries weight far beyond the surface. This shift did not come overnight. It is the culmination of years of public controversy and institutional restraint. Prince Andrew's journey from royal frontline to sidelined family member has been shaped by scandal, silence, and strategy. The unraveling began in earnest in 2019 when his now infamous BBC interview turned a defensive media appearance into a public relations disaster. Intended to clear his name regarding connections to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the interview instead painted a picture of detachment and tone deafness that shocked the public. In the days that followed, charity patronages evaporated, and Andrew was quietly removed from royal duties. Palace statements framed the exit as a step back, a temporary removal, but insiders knew the retreat was permanent. The Epstein scandal had left an indelible mark, one no carefully crafted statement could erase. The Queen, long seen as loyal to her son, maintained a supportive distance, but the institution around her began to shift. In 2022, following a civil lawsuit filed by Virginia Giuffre, which ended in an out-of-court settlement, the erosion accelerated. Andrew paid an undisclosed sum to Giuffre without admitting guilt, but the damage was done. His honorary military roles were returned to the Queen. The styling "His Royal Highness" was no longer used. His place within the public fabric of the monarchy had all but vanished. Now, in 2025, we witness another layer peeled away. The removal of Duke of York from the official website is not a legal revocation. That would require an act of parliament. But symbolically, it is immense. It signals a new phase, one of finality. The institution has chosen to present Andrew not as a public figure with a grand title, but as a prince in name only. The title, Duke of York, is not arbitrary. It is one of the crown's most historic and significant titles, dating back centuries and often reserved for the second son of the monarch. He received it in 1986, on the day of his wedding to Sarah Ferguson. For decades, the York family carried the weight of that heritage. But in this new chapter, the legacy is fading from view. What's more telling than the change itself is the palace's silence. No statement was issued, no announcement made, just a change, deliberate, quiet, and complete. In the royal world where nothing happens by accident, such silence is a language all its own. It speaks of a monarchy tightening its boundaries, refining its image, and communicating not through press conferences, but by omission. This update also raises questions about the fate of Sarah Ferguson. Long known as Fergie, Duchess of York, she has continued to use the styling in public appearances and social platforms. But observers noted that references to Duchess of York have recently disappeared from some of her digital profiles. Is this coincidence or coordinated distancing? As Andrew's public identity recedes, so too does the title that once tied Fergie to royal prestige. Sarah Ferguson's relationship with the royal family has always been unique. Despite her 1996 divorce with Andrew, she remained close to him, often residing at Royal Lodge alongside him. Their unusual domestic arrangement, divorced yet cohabiting, raised eyebrows but endured for decades. Yet, with Andrew's name now stripped of its styling, her association becomes more complicated. Still, the decision to remove Andrew's title from the website feels more like closure than confrontation. It is not about legal exile, but public repositioning. And it is consistent with King Charles III's vision for a more streamlined, accountable monarchy. Since taking the throne, Charles has made clear moves to reduce the size and exposure of the working royal family. This isn't personal, it's structural. But there are whispers that this change came not only from Charles, but also under pressure from Prince William. Insiders suggest that the Prince of Wales has been increasingly vocal about protecting the monarchy's long-term image. With scandals continuing to cloud the House of York, William is said to have advocated for a firmer stance. He understands that the decisions made now will shape the monarchy he is set to inherit. And in this digital age, image matters. The royal website, once a formality, now operates as a powerful signal. When Harry and Meghan departed their roles, the edits to their page, the removal of patronages, the reshuffling of hierarchy were watched closely. Now, the same applies to Andrew. The website becomes a mirror, reflecting how the institution wants to be seen. Despite the website update, Andrew remains a duke by law. His residence, Royal Lodge, is still his home, though rumors swirl about pressure for him to relocate. Critics question why a man no longer performing royal duties continues to occupy a 30-room estate on royal land. Reports suggest negotiations between Andrew and the Crown estate are ongoing. The financial implications aren't just personal, they're political. And yet, in the midst of this quiet removal, the monarchy offers no scandalous fireworks. There is no dramatic speech, no explicit condemnation, just omission, just absence. In a family where protocol reigns supreme, this is how reputations are redefined. The message is simple. Andrew is no longer part of the active, visible royal narrative. For some, this is long overdue. For others, it's an example of an institution avoiding difficult conversations. But the reality is, this digital scrub may be the most effective tool the palace has. It reclaims control of the narrative without inviting legal complications or public drama. As for Sarah Ferguson, her future remains as ambiguous as her title. Once a fixture of royal tabloids, she has carved out a modern media persona. Her podcast, books, and charitable work keep her in the public eye, but increasingly detached from the monarchy's inner workings. With Andrew's name fading from the palace's digital halls, Fergie, too, may find her royal relevance waning. In a monarchy driven by image, even silence is curated. The palace doesn't shout its decisions, it whispers them in metadata and typography. And the removal of Duke of York tells us all we need to know about how far the crown is willing to go to preserve itself. For King Charles, this is housekeeping. For William, it is legacy. And for Andrew, it is perhaps the final retreat from a public stage he once occupied with full authority. What does it mean for the future? It means the monarchy is choosing shape over sentiment, structure over scandal, and above all, It means that even those born into titles can see them slip away, not by law, but by design. In this palace, the quietest decisions often carry the greatest weight. Let us know what you think in the comments. Is this the end of the York's visibility, or just another step in the royal house reshaping its image? If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden world of the Crown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on Crownverse, where royal history lives on.